we all know that non-fictional reading is a great thing to do. Reading something that will objectively benefit you is it cannot in any way, shape, or form be a waste of your time, and that is a good thing. You should absolutely read non-fiction. But in this video today, I'm going to be discussing the benefits and values of reading fictional books. So, fictional reading is a good way to lubricate the journey from not reading at all into reading non-fiction relentlessly, and it's something you never have to drop fully because it's just something nice. It's like a little escape from the pains and hardships of your life by looking at the pains and hardships of someone else's life while you're not experiencing them, while also kind of experiencing their wins and the nice things that they enjoy in their lives. So there was that quote, I think, and it said that readers experience a thousand lifetimes within one or something. But I think it generally holds. I think it's a decent quote because you do experience a whole range of different things when you're reading. Like you do follow the story, so you're basically like the main character. Let's be honest. We all see ourselves as subconsciously kind of as the main character. Maybe not so much. I kind of do anyway sometimes. Just to like set yourself down there. So let's say if the main character loses a fight, then you kind of get offended because you feel like you lost the fight because the whole story is centered around this main character, and because they're experiencing something, the point is that you were experiencing that thing as well. So fictional reading is a nice way to just bear all that challenge and all of that achievement, and you can feel it yourself. But another way that it's a bit good benefit to you is because it gives you kind of insight into people's minds. So good authors are people who kind of like looking and observing at people, and so these are people who have an extensive knowledge of psychology in some way, even though they don't need to have a psychology degree, but they are aware of social situations and interactions and the forms and rules that govern our behaviour, and therefore they're able to transfer that well into their writing, and that can be delivered to us. And so we then get a nice lick of that, and we can gradually adapt it into our heads as well. So usually you see these analyses of these stories. I don't know if analysis is the plural of analysis, but whatever analysis is, no way that's a plural word. But anyway, I'm off point here. If you, what was I saying? If you look up on these analysis things online and you see what the story is about, then you kind of know what the author was trying to convey to you. And the author, if it's a good author, they're probably trying to teach you a lesson through their story, through entertainment. But it's not mindless garbage entertainment. It's actual entertainment that can not mess you up unless you're just living on it, but good entertainment. So if you by reading these analyses, or even just picking it up from yourself in the story, which might be even more effective, to be honest, you're able to see what they mean by that, and then you're able to gain more insights into your own head about what this all means to you. Now, last summer I read the Harry Potter series and the whole Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson and Trials of Apollo series. Pretty biased towards Rick Riordan, but anyway, sorry, that was my bottle. Anyway, they were very good books because they weren't just kind of surface level, they were actually, they were kind of deep-ish, like they're for kids, but I was still reading it because I wasn't developed enough as a kid to read those things because, short attention span, social media. Yeah, getting off topic here, but in 2014, I remember just that whole summer I was doing nothing but going on my phone, and I was 10 years old, and I was going on my phone the whole time, did nothing else, and that was my life. Or I'd be on 3DS as well, that would be okay. But those things don't really compare to reading now. Well, obviously they compare in terms of dopamine. Book can't really compete with the initial dopamine surge that comes after initially starting one of those devices, the activity that those devices bring to your life, they have very high dopamine levels, but they're not sustainable. Whereas reading, if you do it not too much, it is sustainable. Don't read fictional books all day, every day. Read a little bit of non-fiction, a bit of fiction. I'd also recommend to just read one fictional book at a time, because if you read two fictional books, then you take each of them half as seriously, because you can't take a fictional book entirely seriously if you're juggling it with another one, so don't do that. Maybe you're different to me, but for me personally, I think that fictional reading is best when there's a single priority in your mind of which book you're reading. So I was talking about what the benefits are, and honestly there's just a lot of them. It's not bad for you, it's pretty enjoyable, you can get a good laugh out of it, you can talk with people about it. If you're kind of cooped up under a rock for like 10 years or something, I don't know, maybe you're in jail, you can still enjoy a pretend life, I guess, when you're reading. I sound awful cynical calling it a pretend life, but it kind of is. But it's still a good thing, because you do get the enjoyment out of it. Not just like, crack it enjoyment, but actual some kind of intellectual enjoyment. And that enjoyment is something that does keep us sane, I think. So fictional reading is it's an endeavour worthy of maybe an hour, half an hour a night, just to wind down. You might be able to go to sleep a bit easier from it, though sometimes I think just thinking before bedtime is probably even better, because when you just think, you're not keeping yourself awake by any excited emotions, whereas a book might trigger excited emotions within you. And as I was saying, Harry Potter, yeah, just an incredible series. I don't know how it's only for kids. I think it is for all ages, to be honest. I don't really know, but it's just an amazing series, and it has I'm not going to spoil anything, but essentially it's a series about suffering. In a way, it is about wizardry and witchcraft as well, but the main character suffers a lot, and we kind of suffer along with him, because you just see how all these bad things are happening to him, but it's not really his fault, but he goes on anyway, and he continues. And that's a good message to us, because life is full of suffering, and if we don't go past that, then where are we really? We're not gonna go very far if we don't just accept that fact and try to, what's the phrase? Pay attention to your reaction, not your surroundings. Yeah. Just see how you're reacting, and be the kind of person who has more trust in their reaction than they do in their environment, and you'll go pretty far in life.